Okay, and we're now on record, so just be mindful of that. Good morning and happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to yoga class. We are going to be doing a little bit more of a movement class today, but one of the suggestion of somebody, and I think it's a good time for it, just so you know, Thursday's class is going to be a couple restorative poses, hopefully that you can do with things that you have around your house, and then we're going to do a yoga nidra on Thursday. So if you're eager for some of that to get a little bit of rest and restore in, just know that that's going to be Thursday's class. This morning, you are going to want to probably have a couple blocks, possibly a chair. You don't necessarily need those things, just as a possibility, a strap and something to build your comfortable seat with. And we're going to go ahead and get going. So please do find your comfortable seat. And with your comfortable seat, what you want to be able to do is have a position where your spine can be nice and tall. One of the things that I'm finding in these days of a really interesting world that we're in is that there are some days when I know, boy, I have kind of an excess energy and I really need to kind of move that through. And some days where, boy, I just really need to rest. So today we're kind of going to do a move stuff through type of practice. And what I did is I took some of the things I put in this practice, deliberately designed to kind of clear out anything that may feel like something's kind of blocked, stagnant energy, both on our physical, moving our body, but also on our energetic level. So we're going to do a couple things at the beginning here. We're just going to start to do a breath work at the beginning, but I also want to talk about how we're going to Om, because we're also going to do this at the end of class. So those of you guys who have taken the last couple classes with me, we've been doing this. This is called Uchara. And it's a really old technique. And what it's going to involve when we Om is taking a nice full breath in and then starting to generate an ah sound low in your body. Some of you may be able to actually feel that down the pelvic floor. Most of the time, some people feel around their navel a little lower. Then the oo sound kind of comes up around the heart region. And then it's the nasal sound. It's not really an M sound at the end. It's more like an ah sound. And that usually comes up somewhere around the sinus passages. And then the silence at the end of the Om rising up above our head. So at the beginning of class, once we finish our breath work, we'll only do one Om. But at the end of class, if we have time, we may do that Uchara practice. We may do it for about 3 minutes. So in the comfort of your home, feel free to sound that out loud. If for any reason you're not comfortable sounding that out loud, at least mentally do it silently, feeling that vibration kind of moving up through the center channel. So we're going to start off first with another little breath work here. So go ahead and get yourself comfortable. If you prefer to have a soft gaze for your eyes, find a place that you can keep your eyes fixed on and kind of soften the gaze so you're not distracted. If you like to close your eyes, please close your eyes. Find and start to feel right now just your body checking in with that, with your breath. Seeing how you're starting this class today, so you can do a check-in at the end to notice if it feels any different, if you were successful in helping to kind of move out some of the stagnant stuff, stuck energy. We're going to do a breath work here in just a moment that's going to involve imagining that you're breathing in from the top of your head into your heart. And you're going to do a slight pause there. And I want you to imagine, whether it kind of be any kind of flower, lotus is the classical thing, but any kind of flower you want to imagine that's kind of opening there as you hold your breath. And imagining a silent Om as you're holding your breath, opening that flower. And then when you're ready to exhale, you're going to soften, make sure your jaw is really soft, and breathe out going, ha, kind of like that. It may be helpful to you to turn your palms to face up and join your first thumbs and fingers together, resting them either on your legs, or you can also do this on top of each other. So just take a couple more breaths in, observing your breath. Now, if you can, as we begin this practice, you're going to inhale to about a count of 5. If you can, hold the breath in to that heart center, a count of 5, and then the breath back out, loosening the jaw. Begin at any time you wish. Inhale, 5. Hold in that flower, possibly a lotus at the heart for 5. And when you're ready to release, opening the jaw. And beginning again with your inhale. Through the nose. Holding in that flower of the heart, maybe feeling silent ohms happening there. When you're ready to release, the jaw softens, you release your breath out the mouth. Inhaling back through the nose. As you hold, imagining the flower of the heart opening, silent ohms resounding within that center. Perhaps after a count of 5, softening the jaw and the tongue, letting the breath back out through the mouth. Continue at your pace. Inhaling back through the mouth. Holding your breath in at the heart center, silent ohms resounding there. When you're ready to exhale, softening the jaw. Perhaps 3 more breaths here. Last one. Inhaling. Holding in that heart center, hearing the silent ohms resounding there. Softening the jaw. Now just take a moment to observe. How does this feel within you right now? And in this stillness and place of quietness, planting the seeds in that flower of the heart for your intention for your practice, to whom or to what you're dedicating your practice today. Once you've planted those seeds, bringing your palms now together in front of the heart center. And we're going to do the uchara, the ah, oo, and the silence afterwards. One time as we open the practice. Exhaling together and inhaling. May we practice together in clarity and joy. Namaste. And as you're ready, softening and opening the eyes and coming back into presence. We're going to move into a practice that's now Kapalabhati breathing. So this is a really nice one for cleansing the lungs. Again, those of you guys who have been working and doing some of these classes with me, you'll be familiar with this. You may want to switch your sitting position if you're ready to do a switch. Those of you guys sitting cross-legged, you may want to switch the cross of your legs. This is one That tends to bring up any mucus we may have in our lungs. It's a good cleanser for our lungs, actually. I'm already coughing, not a dry cough. So what we're going to do is, if you want to, you may want to have a tissue handy. It involves a forceful exhale that starts from low in the belly. So it's an inhales through the nose, and it's a really forceful exhale back out through the nose. Your inhales will take care of themselves in between. We're going to do 3 rounds of this, and in between what we'll do is we'll hold the breath. So I'm going to guide you through. Everyone ready? Here we go. We'll inhale, bring your arms up with your thumbs extended. Begin your forceful exhale. Now take a deep breath in. You're going to hold the breath, lightly lift your pelvic floor, draw your chin in, hook your thumbs, and hold to the point of comfort. When you need to exhale, softly begin to release your thumbs, let your arms come down, soften your chin tuck, soften the pelvic floor, and just simply let your breath release your arms down. What you want to do during this time is observe the center part of your body. You can always keep your eyes closed, or again, that soft gaze, and keep your awareness inside. If you need to cough in between, I always need to clear my throat in between, do so. That's what this is intended to do. And we'll begin a second round. Again, we'll inhale the arms up and begin Kapalabhati. A nice big inhale. You lift the pelvic floor, draw the chin down, hook the thumbs, and hold, observing. Whenever it is you need to breathe out, soften those 2 areas of your body, release the thumbs, and allow the arms to gently come back down. And as your breath stabilizes, observe. If for any reason this practice doesn't feel comfortable to you today, just don't do it. Just simply watch and observe your own natural breath. For those of you guys doing your Kapalabhati, here's our 3rd and final round. Inhaling, bringing the arms up, and begin. And again, a big inhale. Lightly lift the pelvic floor, chin in and down, hook the thumbs and hold, observe. Gently exhaling your arms when you need to. Lightly releasing the pelvic floor and the chin, and again observing. Allow your breath to stabilize. And then softly opening your eyes again. All right. So now go ahead and lean back a little bit. Those of you guys that are sitting cross-legged, just extend your legs and give them a little wiggle wiggle. Right here, with your feet extended, just separate the toes and then bring them back together. Do that a couple more times, maybe with an inhale or exhale, separate the toes, and on the opposite breath, bring them back together. One more time. And now just bring the toes forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. Then that whole foot. Now point the whole foot away from you. Draw it back towards you. Do that again 3 times. And then we're going to roll the ankles 3 times in each direction. Good. And just sitting here for a moment, what I want you to see is we're going to go onto the back in just a moment, but I'm going to have you do this on your back as well, is just check out crossing one of your legs over like this and just see how it feels. Some of you may not feel that good. You may be more with the knee up here. That's okay. Some of you may be able to lower that knee down. That's okay. Just check that out and then check that out with your other leg. See how this feels. One leg may be different than the other. That's okay. Just check it out. Even if the leg's up here, this is okay. Good. All right. Now, just for one other thing to do, because we're going to do this on our back as well. Just draw your knees in, even if they need to separate a little bit. Get your belly up to your thighs. Reach your arms out like this. Inhale, and on the exhale, just see if you can come any closer to your legs or hug your legs in any closer. And as you're doing this, press your arms against your legs, but your legs against your arms. Kind of create a little isometric action there. Keep breathing while you're doing this. And release. Good. Now we're actually going to do this, but side to side. So you may want to tootle your feet a little bit over to your right. Now take both your arms over here to the left. Same thing, really push out through the arms, but at the same time, kind of push your leg against your right arm and your right arm against your left leg. Hold for a breath or two. And then soften and release. Then we're going to tootle over, do the same thing to the other side. So reaching out through the arms. And again, you're creating this isometric work between the leg and the arm and the arm and the leg, kind of pressing out through the hands, lifting in and up. That leg and arm thing should engage your abdominals a little bit. You should feel that. One more breath. And exhale to release. All right, good. Now just lean back for a moment. Wiggle, wiggle those legs a little. You can always take the supports out if you're sitting on them. Good. And come on down onto your back. Whew, it's always good to start off on your back. So just go ahead and do a nice full body stretch out. Reach your fingers away from your toes and your toes away from your fingers. Give yourself a couple nice little stretches there. Once you've done that, then bring your hands into fists, reach out through your wrists, and then reach out through your heels. So your arms are up over your head. Stretch that out. Feel that your back body's now stretching out. And then on a nice deep exhale, draw your arms down and bring them around your legs. Draw your legs in and give yourself a little rock and roll, maybe a little self-massaging on your back. Roll it around a little bit. Good. All right. Hopefully this is feeling good, since you probably aren't able to get a massage in this day and time unless you happen to live with a massage therapist. All right. So now hugging onto your knees. Remember, we're going to do Apanasana. I'm just going to model this with one hand around my knee. This is you on your back with both your hands around your knees. That's your inhale with your arms extended. On your exhale, bend your elbows and draw your knees into your body. Inhale, bring the knees back out. Your exhale, draw it in. Do this at the pace of your breath. And this should hopefully feel good on your body. This is hopefully something that feels good on your back. It should also be a nice kind of, this is a great one for working with and clearing out if you're having problems with your digestion system or your elimination system. Remember, the class theme here is kind of moving stagnant energy. So this is a move that's really easy to do. You could even do it in your bed, but it can help to move stagnant energy in your digestive system and in your elimination system. Nice full inhale and nice full exhale. Do 3 more of these. Good. Thank you, Elodie, for going sideways so people can see if they're not sure. All right, and after your third one, what I'm going to have you do is just for a moment is bring your feet down to the ground, but keep your knees bent. And actually, Elodie, if I can have you turn the same way. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, if you want to peek, I'm going to have Elodie do this. What we're going to do next is we're just going to kind of wake up, again, our abdominals a little bit. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to have you bring your knees up so your shins are parallel with the floor and take your arms out to the side. You can always hug a brick in between your knees if this feels better. And you're just going to do a light twist, lowering the knees down halfway to one side, then inhale up to center and exhale over the other side. So go ahead and start that anytime that you're ready. If it feels better, you can see Debbie over there. She actually uses a brick in between her legs because that feels better for her to do this. Nice full inhale to fill your body. Nice full exhale as you're coming over partway to the side. Inhale back to center. Nice full exhale in and out through the nose. Maybe doing that 3 to 5 times on each side. When you're done, come back to center and allow your feet again to come down to the center. Good. All right, so this next thing we're going to do, if that one felt like that was a good one to do and you want to go back to that one for this, instead of this next one, feel free. This next one, what we're going to do is on the inhale, you're going to first start by lifting your legs all the way up to the ceiling. And then on your exhale, you're going to bring them back and down to that starting position. So bend the knees and bring the feet down. Okay, this is first and number 1. Inhale, lift the legs straight up. Exhale, bend the knees and bring the legs down. This is getting our breath and movement. Now, if you want to do a little bit more, you could always lift your arms up towards the ceiling at the same time. And exhale, your knees bend, feet come down, arms come back and down to the ground. One more time, inhale. And exhale back and down. From your nice full breath, you should feel a little abdominal engagement. Now in this next one, what you can do, and Deb, you be careful, you might end up kicking Elodie a little bit, is on your inhale, if you want a little bit more work, instead of taking your legs straight up, and Elodie, watch out for your water bottle, is on the inhale, you kind of take it out more horizontally and create a star shape of your body. And on the exhale, then you draw everything back to center. So on the inhale, you extend your arms and legs out like a star, and exhale, draw them in, hugging your knees. Do this again, maybe 3 to 5 times. This is again, maybe a little bit more work for the abdominals. So if this doesn't feel good, you can always go back to one of the earlier ones, either that light twist or taking the legs straight up. Good. 3 to 5 more times. Nice full inhale. Let your breath expand your body out. Support your back abdominals. Exhale fully, drawing everything back in. And one more. Inhale. Fill your body. Exhale. Fully. Good. Now just with your knees hugged in, again, give yourself a little rock and roll. And all we're going to do here on the back before we get up is just bring your feet down, and exactly like Elodie was just about to do is start to do just a couple little bridge poses, just using your breath. You don't need to take the arms up or do anything like that. Just use your natural inhale and exhale to bring yourself up and down. Again, maybe 3 to 5 times. Good. All right, and once you have finished that number of times, go ahead and just come over and on to your side, and let's go ahead and come on up to your hands and knees. Now with this next one, what we're going to do is we're going to do a twist, but it's a twist that, because of our body position, makes us have to do the twist from our thoracic spine, which is kind of that upper part of our spine. So with this, you're going to be kneeling. If you can sit on your heels, great. You don't have to. What you're going to try to do is try to lock your arm in between your 2 knees. And you're then going to take my right arm's in between my knees. So then I'm going to take and I'm going to lift up and do this twist with my left arm. So you can come in and out of this with your breath, inhaling up and exhaling back and down. All right, try that 3 times. If for any reason that's not feeling comfortable, just maybe find yourself kneeling, put your hand down, try to keep your hips stable, and then do this one. Once you've done your 3 to 5 times on one side, you're going to switch and go to the other side. So switch over, left arm, if it can be in between the knees. If that doesn't work, just left arm down on the ground, and I'll model that one. Inhaling up and exhaling back and down, and I'm trying really hard not to move from my pelvis, keeping this isolated to my thoracic spine. If you've got your elbow in between the knees, you pretty much have to do that. Good. All right. And once you've done that, coming back up onto hands and knees. Now what I'm going to show you is another wrist strengthener. We did this with blocks the other day. With this one, what you're going to do is you're gonna take and you're gonna put your hands on your mat, but you're gonna lift your thumbs up. So they're like little kickstands. And then with your thumbs up, you're gonna inhale, come up just onto the fingers, lifting the palms, and exhale, bring the palms back down. Inhaling, palms up, exhaling down. Do again, maybe somewhere around 4 to 5 more of these. And you should start to feel this in the muscles of the forearms. If you need to add more body weight, what you would do, or a little bit more angle in the wrists, is you can bring them back toward your body. If this is too much, you can bring the angle farther out away from your body. All right, and once you start to feel you've got some work happening in the muscles of your forearms, do one more, and then come up onto your knees and shake it out. That's our wrist exercise for the day. All right, get a little like you're flicking water off your fingers. Okay, we're gonna come up to standing now. All right, so we're gonna go through a couple of what I call the skiers. And so I'm gonna kind of demonstrate this one standing sideways first. So even though you can't see my upper body, what's mostly happening is down here. So the first inhale is you lift your arms up overhead. On the exhale, you're gonna fold your body really deeply, coming down as if you were a downhill skier like this. Then your inhale, you come forward, exhale here. Inhale into chair, exhale here. Inhale all the way up and a light back bend if you can, and then exhale the hands to the heart. All right, that'll be our starting place. So we're gonna do 3 of these. Please move at the pace of your breath. You don't have to move along with me. I'll keep instructing. Here we go. Hands at the heart. Bowing down first, remembering your intention and dedication. On your inhale, you're gonna lift the arms up, extend. On the exhale, do that nice deep fold at the hips and the knees, sweep the arms behind. Stay here, your inhale, your arms just come forward. Exhale here. Inhale, then you come into the chair and exhale here. And then the next inhale, you come all the way up, do a light back bend if that's comfortable, and exhale the hands back to the heart. Allow your breath to stabilize in between your rounds. Whenever you're ready, begin a second one. Inhaling, the arms come up. Exhale, you fold deeply, sweep into that skier. Staying there, you inhale, the arms come forward, and exhale there. Then the next inhale, you come into chair, and exhale there. And then the next breath, all the way up, a light back bend, and then hands come back to the heart. Good. Just pause and allow yourself to breathe for a moment. All right. One more round. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, deep fold of the body, sweep the arms back and behind. Inhale, the arms come forward. Exhale there. The next inhale's into the chair pose, and exhale there. And inhale to come all the way up, light back bend. Now on the exhale this time, come back down into your chair pose. Bring your hands in front of the heart. Inhale here, we're gonna take this into a twist. So keeping your hips steady, commit to that. Inhale here, on the exhale, twist to the right, hold for 3 breaths. You don't have to take your elbow all the way down to the knee, only if that works. Inhale when you've done your 3 breaths back to center, and then your exhale is gonna go to the other side, to the left. You don't have to be all the way down to the knee. You can be though. 1, 2, 3 breaths. And then inhale back to center. Exhale there, take the arms out in front. Inhale back into your chair. Exhale there. Inhale all the way up in that light back bend. And exhale the hands to the heart. Good. All right, we're gonna go into our first sun salutation. For this, you may wanna have a blanket just for your knee, because we are gonna take the knee down. We're on concrete here, so it's a little helpful. If you're not, you're on your carpeting at home, you probably don't need that. Standing then towards the front of your mat. All right, let's find again the hands at the heart, Samastihiti. In here, this is just a great time to reaffirm the roots of your body reaching down and into the earth, lifting that up through the arches, letting that extend up through the crown of your head. Reminding yourself of this beautiful flower, this lotus, or whatever flower at the center of your body in your heart. And allowing yourself to plant the seeds of your intention and your dedication once again within that flower, sealing it with an Om silently. As you're ready, softening and opening the eyes. And on the inhale, extend the arms up and overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, we're going to float forward. Our first standing forward bend. So gentle on your body. Bend your knees as needed. Allow your head to hang for a moment here. Let your neck and head move. I like to say yes and no every day when I do this. So I'm reminding myself that I have choices. Please make the best choices for you during your class today. On your inhale, lifting and lengthening through the spine. On the exhale, bending the knees and taking that right leg back, putting the knee down onto your mat. You can either keep that back foot, top of the foot down, or the toes. Good. With your hand on this front knee for a moment, just affirm that your hips are both feeling comfortable and change your leg position if you need to do so. There's no reason that you have to keep your feet or your knee in line with the hips. You might go a little wider, a little bit more narrow. Classically, we say in line with the hips is a usual one. Now, find a scissoring action. So drag your back, your front heel and your back knee towards each other. I'm just going to call this like a scissoring action. And feel the strength of your pelvic floor as this is coming up. So we're going to take 3 breaths. And we're going to lift the arms with 3 breaths. Inhale the arms up. And exhale, bring them on down. Twice more. Inhale up. And like you can see Elodie doing, you can always deepen into the lunge if it's feeling comfortable. One more time. Inhale up. Good. And on the exhale, bring your hands into prayer hands and just turn towards your bent knee. So these guys are coming to the right. If you want to, you can lean over and maybe hook the elbow to the outside of that knee. What I want you to do is think about pushing out through the crown of the head and reaching back through your opposite sit bone. Doesn't matter how low you are, try to find that line of energy. One more breath. Good. And on the exhale, gently start to unwind. Take your hands down. We're going to step it back into either plank or knee plank. Whichever one you're doing, try to find your abdomen really nice and strong. Taking 3 breaths if you can. Again, pushing out through the heels or the knees, pushing out through the crown of the head. Find that line. Once you finish those 3 breaths, then either bringing the knees down or lowering down nice and slow. We're going to come down and onto the abdomen. If you are using a blanket, try to have the top of the blanket just underneath your hip points, but your pubic bone should be on that blanket. Take your arms out in front, both arms. Separate your feet either hip width or a little bit wider. Plant down through your toes, plant down through your sacrum, plant down through your hands right now. Feel how even just that can activate your abdomen. Now, if you want to, you can join with these guys and on an inhale, raise up through your right arm and your left leg. And exhale back and down. If that doesn't feel comfortable, just keep anchored down the ground. Inhale, you're going to switch to the opposite arm and leg. Stay anchored in the leg and arm that are down. Stay anchored continually through the pubic bone. Do this 3 times on each side. Your inhale lifting you up. Your full exhale bringing you back and down. Move at the pace of your breath. Good, nice. Getting in a little back bending, a little work for our spine. Once you finish those 3 times, please bring your hands underneath your forehead and relax your legs for a moment. If you want to, you can always bend your knees, bring your heels up and windshield wiper your legs, or just wiggle your hips if you need to on the ground. Check in. Keep an eye on your body, your breath, your mind, and your energy. If at any time something's not feeling right, you can always return to a resting position, this or child's pose. Take your hands now whenever you're ready. You've done your observations underneath your shoulders, lifting up onto your hands and knees. And then we're going to transition up into Adho Mukha, downward facing dog. If that's not comfortable for whatever reason for your shoulders or your hands, go ahead and take it back into child's pose and stretch out through the arms. Now in Tadasana, we found our legs connecting with the earth. So right here, take a moment to find your hands also connecting with the earth. Feel your palms stretching out, the center of your palms lifting up through your arms. Light external rotation in the upper arms. The inner arms are reaching that way. The outer arms are reaching that way. Take another breath. Maybe walk out the dog. Feel your hamstrings a little bit if you haven't already. And then we're going to, looking forward, you're going to step your right foot forward and bring your left knee now down and onto that blanket. Good. As you come up, again, check your knee, bottom knee, and your front leg feel in a really comfortable position for both of your hips. Assure that you've got a really good lift from the pelvic floor by doing that scissoring of the legs, your right foot, your left knee trying to come towards each other. Good. We're going to do our 3 breaths up and down with our arms. Inhaling up and exhaling down. You can always fold a little forward on the exhale if you want. You don't have to. Inhale up, exhale down. You can always deepen into this if you want or not. Inhale up one more time. And now on the exhale, bring the hands back into that prayer position. And again, you're going to twist toward your front leg, which should be the opposite leg this time. So these guys are going to the left now. If you want to, you can always hook that elbow to the knee if that's not comfortable, just wherever it is. Reaching out through the crown of the head, reaching back through that knee that's on the ground, creating this line of energy around the twist in your center channel. One more breath. And with an exhale, unwinding the twist, bringing the hands either down onto the ground, inhale, lifting up the back leg, and stepping forward into forward bend. Coming back into Uttanasana. Take a moment to again release the head. It's okay to bend the knees. You want any stretch of the hamstring to be in the belly of the leg, not up around the sit bone or the knees. Maybe one more breath, maybe lifting a little bit more through the kneecaps, through the sit bones. Exhale, relaxing down. Now we're going to come all the way up. So ground through the feet. And on a big inhale, imagine that inhale starting from the arches of your feet all the way up through the fingertips as they reach to the sky, and exhaling the hands back to the heart. Pausing here for a moment, softening or closing your eye, and doing a check-in again with your body, your breath, your mind, your energy. How's all this feeling so far? If any of this next sun salutations become just a little bit too much, you can always go back to that one that we just did with the knee down. This next one, we're not going to take the knee down from here. So if you guys want to move your blanket off your mat, feel free to do that. All right. Now you also may want, we're going to do and move into crescent pose or warrior one variation, and then down into a forward bend. We're not going to hold it real long. Let me just show you for a moment. So one of the movements that we're going to be doing, we'll be stepping back into this. We'll be coming from here and then just lightly lifting through this knee and folding forward. So if you'd prefer to have something to put your hands on like this, have those blocks handy. We're going to move back and forth between this a couple times. All right, come up to the front of your mat. Starting off again in your mountain pose, Tadasana. Feel your feet grounding down, lifting up through the arches, feeling that lift all the way up through your spine, hands coming to the heart. We bow down, remember intention, dedication, a beautiful flower in the center of your heart. When you're ready, you'll allow your arms to come up with an inhale, extending up to the sky. Exhale, floating forward from the hips into Uttanasana, bending the knees as needed. We're just going to inhale here and lengthen out through the spine. And on the exhale, we're going to step the left leg back. You can keep that back heel lifted in crescent or take that heel down more like a warrior one position. Then inhale, lift up through the arms. Now right here, you might want to play with that scissoring action that we used in the kneeling lunge a moment ago, if that's comfortable. All I want you to do is just make sure that you feel okay in your low back. Maybe draw down a little bit more through the tail, lifting up from the low back, not allowing the front ribs to flare, but allowing them to kind of move towards a pubic bone. Now at the same time here, we're going to start to lift up and straighten this front knee, and on an exhale, fold forward, finding either your hands on the floor, your shin, or your blocks. When you're ready, bending through that front knee, inhale to come back and up. Same thing. Exhale, we're going to start to fold forward, lift up through that front knee, maybe straightening it all the way, maybe keeping a micro bend. On the inhale, start to bend that knee a little bit as you come up, just to protect your back. One more time. Lifting or straightening the front knee, and exhale, folding forward. Good. Now, if you're using the bricks or your hand on the ground, what you're going to do is bring that left hand over, your opposite hand from your front leg. Take your hand of the front leg, if with us it's our right, and put it onto your sacrum. See if you can get that sacrum nice and flat. Maybe bring your energy into that big toe mound of the front leg and reach it back through that sit bone. And if it's comfortable, start to lift up through that top arm. We're now into a light twist of Pavrita Trikonasana, or revolved triangle pose. One more breath. Good job, you guys. Exhale to bring that arm down. Bend that front knee. Set both of your hands down on the ground and step it back either into plank or knee plank. Again, if you have the strength and you want to do 3 breaths here, go ahead and do 3 breaths here. You don't have to. You can lower down either on the knees or into this anytime you want, and then come up either into a baby cobra, Bhujangasana, or an upward facing dog. And then exhale, curl the toes under, going up and back into down dog. If you need to rest, this would be a great time to take yourself down into child's pose or balasana for a couple breaths. Those of you guys that are okay with staying in your down dog, Adho Mukha, take again and feel your grounding through your hands, through your legs, lifting from the center of your palms and your feet, letting that meet at the sit bones. Beautiful long spine, beautiful long legs, 1 or 2 or 3 more breaths. And then as you're ready, we're going to start to look forward, and you're going to step your left leg forward this time. Or you should end up with your opposite leg forward than you had before. Either you can stay with the toes, on the toes of the back foot in your crescent pose, or set that heel down like a variation of Warrior One. Again, find the comfort here. Adjust as needed, all right? You want to feel comfortable here, and you want to feel comfortable around the sacral area. Find the scissoring action of the 2 legs, drawing that back foot forward, the front foot back. You should feel a light lift from the pelvic floor there. And we're going to inhale and take the arms up and down again 3 times. Inhaling up. Now lifting through that front knee. Exhale, fold forward. Maybe onto your bricks or just sweeping them down. Then lightly bending that front knee and inhaling up again. Lifting through that front knee a little bit more. Exhale, fold from the crease of the thighs. One more time, inhaling, coming up. And on the exhale, start to lift through that front knee, coming down, finding either your bricks or whatever it is you can rest that hand on. And this time, because our left leg is forward, the right hand is going to stay on that brick. You're going to bring your same foot that you have forward, that hand onto your sacrum. Make sure that that's feeling nice and flat. You want to try to adjust here. Reach down in the front big toe mound. Zoom that energy back and through that sit bone. Reach out through the crown of the head. If it's comfortable, then start to reach down that bottom arm and lift up through the top arm. Revolve triangle. This requires a twist in the thoracic spine. We warmed up for that. 1, 2, or 3 more breaths. Keep finding that stability if you can. Good job, everyone. And then with an exhale, gently and mindfully bring it down. Go ahead and step it forward, coming back into your forward bend. Exhale and allow your head to hang. Whew. Go ahead and grab onto your elbows for a moment. Maybe swinging a little side to side. Then as you're ready, releasing the arms, ground down the feet. A nice big inhale. Start that lift from the arches. Come all the way up. And exhale the hands back in front of the heart. Samastahiti, attention pose. Soften or close the eyes and check in again with body, breath, mind, energy. How are you feeling right now? All right. Now on this one, some of you may want to have a little bit of a chair here, and this is going to be to support balance. What we're going to do is, as we start the sun salutation, is we're going to come down, kind of like chair pose, except what we're going to do is we're going to cross that foot over the ankle. So if you know, my balance is a little off today, and having something like a chair will help you to have something to hold on to. Go ahead and have a chair nearby, or maybe move over towards a wall. All right, that's going to be at the beginning of our sun salutation. So if you want to have that handy. You guys okay? You want a chair? Okay, vamos a ver. All right, good. So from the front of your mat, let's find our Samastahiti again. Grounding down through the feet, find that lifting of the earth energy up, supporting us always. Remembering your intention and your dedication. On an inhale. Inhale the arms on up. Now on the exhale, go ahead and start to bend the knees. Bring your hands down either at your sides or on your hips or using your support. Start to lift up through your right leg. Now some of you may be right here and you may not want to externally rotate. Externally rotating and abducting lightly, we're coming into like a chair. If you're comfortable and you can, go ahead and bring your hands to your heart center. If you need them out by your side for balance, keep them out there. 1, 2, or 3 more breaths. It's like you're trying to hug your legs together, but also press down with this top leg and lift that bottom leg off the ground at the same time. Good job. Those of you guys that can fold any farther forward if you want to, fold farther forward. Those of you guys that have had enough of that, come with me, lightly lift up. Start to lift this leg up and take it back. Good. Right here, we're going to inhale, get your spine nice and tall, your hips are comfortable. Exhale again, twisting to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, take the arms down, step it back, either into your plank, knee plank. When you're ready, lowering down nice and slow, controlled. Inhaling up either into your up dog or your cobra position. Exhaling back into down dog. Taking perhaps 2 or 3 breaths here. If you need to, you can always come down onto your knees for a break in between. Good. Now we're going to look up and in between the hands, and we're going to start to step the right foot forward, staying perhaps on the back foot and the toes. Inhale, coming up for a moment. Find that comfort level in the pelvis. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale here, exhale, twisting to that front leg. Good. Inhale back to center. Now we're going to step forward and we're going to find that leg over the knee again. So stepping forward if you can with balance, and then starting to go into here. Those of you guys that need your support off to the side of your chair, use that. Those of you that can, maybe hands here or leave them at the side. Reaching this leg down into this leg, maybe bending a little bit farther. Those of you guys who want a forward bend into this, go ahead and do so, or take it down a little deeper. Those of you guys that aren't, don't do it. Whenever you're ready, you're going to start to come up. Start to lift this leg. If you can, artfully lift it. Stand it up. Find your Samastihiti. Woohoo! Wiggle it out as needed. Bowing down, checking in with your intention, your dedication, your whole body, breath, mind, and energy. Good. So once you've done that check-in, what I want you to do is just watch for a moment. We're going to step back and we're going to go into a lot of you guys know pigeon pose. We're not going to fold forward and we're not going to allow the hips to come down. But again, you may find that you want 1 or 2 of your bricks. So I'm going to show you kind of at an angle here. I'm going to have my front leg forward. See how my back leg is up. If I'm to show you from the side, I'm not sitting down at all right? So what some of you are going to find is that you can create this lift by, again, that scissoring action of the legs and create lift and come all the way up like this. Some of you are going to find, woo, this is a lot. I want these bricks to help hold me up here, all right? So showing you from the front again, let's switch legs. This front knee, for me, stays fairly well in line with this hip. It isn't crossing too much in the center line. The back leg is fairly well in line with that hip. And I'm lifting. This front knee's foot is right underneath this hip. I'm not trying to rotate that shin out to the front of the mat. Okay? So come on down onto your knees, possibly having your bricks or something to support you if you have that. We're going to start off with the right knee forward. So bring that knee like it's in front of the hip. The foot, the heel is underneath or close to being underneath your left hip. Your left knee is back there, and you're going to find if you want to have those bricks underneath you to help keep you lifted, or if you want to either put your hands on your hips, bring them up to the chest, or lift them up to the sky. Drag your back knee and your front knee towards each other. Do that scissoring action. Should feel really strong lift in the pelvic floor muscles. Maybe hold for 1, 2, or 3 breaths. Good job. And on an exhale, bring the hands back and down. Go ahead and take that front knee back. And you can either take it back into child's pose for a breath or 2, or you can run through another vinyasa if you're feeling good oomph. Like Elodie's doing, you can come down into your yoga push-up, inhaling up into your up dog and going into down dog. Those of you guys that know rest is more important for you, find your rest for a moment. And we're going to get ready to do this on the other side. So this time, if you were following along with us, the left knee should be forward. Or just do your opposite knee if you're not sure of your rights or lefts, that's okay. If you have your kids at home and they're homeschooling you, they should teach you your right and left. So, all right, hands on the bricks. Go ahead and find that scissoring action, the front knee and the back knee dragging towards each other, creating that length and lift, either staying with your hands down, maybe hands on the waist, maybe hands in prayer position, or maybe lifted all the way up. A number of bus stops are available. Holding 1, 2, or 3 more breaths. If you need to come down before I've told you to, please do so. Now, whenever you're ready, on an exhale, start to come down. And take that knee back. And everybody, you can either, again, go through another vinyasa or take it back into child's pose. We're all going to end up in child's pose in just a moment. So find what you need to do for your body. And good. All righty. Come on with your hands on your shoulders and come up for a moment. So we're going to move ourselves into a fun pose that's an arm balance, and it's a twist. And this is revolved crow pose, Parsvabhakasana. Now, there's a number of options for this. Parsvabhakasana, the full pose, Debbie said she's watching this one. The full pose involves kind of coming down, turning your body to the side, getting your elbows here, and starting to come up and to lift your body up and hold your legs up. Some of you can even then start to open the legs into Kundalini. That's the full bus stop. But there's a number of bus stops along the way. So one of them can simply be this, just coming into this position, bouncing on your toes, turning your body to the side, and coming into this twist and working here. You may even want to start working your hands down towards the ground, which adds in that forward bending motion. All right, that's another bus stop. Another one may be coming down and into a squat pose that's open like this, and coming with the arms here, and then just simply working with this twist. This is a great one. This was a really hard one for me for a long time, is to be able to twist in this position. All right, so that's another option. For those of you guys that none of those options sound like a great deal, but you have a chair, you can always bring your chair over and work with this. All right, holding onto the legs of the chair first, lifting the knees up and down. And then if you can, keeping the knees up, maybe lifting one of the arms and taking it over to the outside. All right, so that's a number of options. So coming into whichever form of the pose that you want to come into, and or resting. You can always rest it down, either laying on your back, your belly, or coming into child's pose. I'm going to walk Elodie through this one. So if you can, you're going to bend the elbows and start to try to get not only this towards that knee, but that hip towards that elbow. And then you can play with using a nice full exhale and Mula Bandha, lifting the pelvic floor to come up, find a gazing spot on the floor. Yeah, woo! And come on down. Now, if you're doing that one, whichever you're doing, if you're doing any of the variations of it, make sure you're doing the other side. Go ahead and switch to the other side. Good. Pressing down on the hands, lifting the body up, finding that gazing spot, using Mula Bandha. Once you have done both of your sides, either sitting in a regular sitting position or sitting on your heels, and stretch out your wrists. Good. So adults, we also need some playtime. And this was, again, we got our body moving. This was kind of my peak pose. So I hope at least you got into some variation of it, because it could be really fun to play with today. But one thing that you can also do is just coming down with your hands on the ground and starting to play with even just jumping up and down. All right? You'll start to work with strengthening your wrists a little bit at a time as well. All right, we are going to come into doing a form of a pose called Viparita Karani. So if you have a block or a cushion, you could also use a bolster or a cushion from your couch. And I'm going to have Elodie, can you turn to the side and just show this for a minute? Now we did this, I think, in one of the classes last week, and I had you take a strap and put it on the bottom of your feet. I'm not going to have you use a strap today. So it's where you're going to put that underneath your sacrum.
Oh, yeah. On the side?
Yep. So I'm going to make Elodie lie on the concrete. Lifting up, you're going to put this, and go ahead and whatever level, Elodie's housing it up on this really high one, but you can also use your block just simply like this, laying around the ground like that, and then start to lift your legs up and into the air. Yeah, maybe it might. There you go. So this is going to create just a little light back bend. It should help release if any of those twists kind of got your spine feeling like it needs a release. And the legs up in the air. Now last week, if you have a strap and you're more comfortable keeping some stability in the legs, you can also use a strap, but you want to have your arms fairly relaxed too. See how Elodie's elbows can stay on the ground like this. That's just simply supporting your legs. Some people like Debbie prefer not to have that strap. She actually likes to hold her legs up like that. So finding whichever one of these is best for you. You can always keep a light little bend in your knees, because this is now about allowing energy from your legs, tension, tiredness, tightness, to drain from the feet down and in through the hips, the sacrum, and into Mother Earth. So no matter what variety of this you're doing, find your sacrum connected with your block. Or your brick or your couch cushion. And start to take and imagine that you're breathing your breath all the way to your feet. And your exhales, you're draining all of the stuff from your leg muscles, your bones, your lymph glands, down and into the sacrum. Take about 5 or 6 more breaths of this. Breathing into the feet. Exhale, allowing this to drain, coming down through the sacrum, releasing and relaxing. Again, nice big inhales. And exhales, releasing this down and out of your body. Feel your breath helping you to release. Feel your shoulders connecting down through the ground, your throat softening. And now in the next couple breaths, bringing that breath in again, and then softening your jaw and doing that. At least 3 breaths of that. Inhaling. One more. Soften the jaw, open. Good. Now just start to soften the knees. Allow your knees to soften and start to come down. Move that strap if you were using it. Let your legs come down to the ground. And just nice and easily lift your hips up and take that block out from underneath it. Thank you, Elodie. Go ahead back to you. Now we're going to stay on our back. We're going to come into a reclining twist. We did a lot of twisting today, so this doesn't need to be a real heavy twist. It could be a light twist. If you want a light twist, what you can do is separate your feet just a little bit wider than your mat, keeping your knees bent. And then on an exhale, just simply allow your knees to go over to the left and take your right arm up overhead. If you don't like that one, do a twist that feels better for your body. If you're doing this one, this is sometimes called traction twist, and what it does is it tractions the side of your low back. Keep your toes reaching up towards your foot if you're doing the traction twist. Now allow yourself, no matter which one you're doing, to start to breathe into your abdomen, and on an exhale, soften your abdomen towards your navel, towards your navel, towards your spine. Breathing in, and allow your breath to soften across your chest, your jaw, your eyes, your forehead. You can always do another one of those deep sighs if you want to. Feel yourself releasing. Good. Now, whenever it feels like this side is ready and you've released, you can go ahead and inhale to bring the knees up, and then go and switch over to the other side. Again, either the traction twist, you'll simply lower your knees down to the other side, keeping the toes coming up towards the top of the foot, and you can reach up then through that left arm, or simply come into a reclining twist to the other side. What's going to feel best and right for you? And again, release with your exhale, your navel down towards your spine. Feel your breath softening now your jaw, your mouth, your eye, your forehead. Feeling that everything is releasing and relaxing down. Breathing into the back, the belly, maybe even a ah with the jaw. Again, listening to and finding when it's right for you to release out of this. Staying as long as is necessary for this side to feel like it got just as much release as your other side did. Whenever you're ready, use an inhale to bring the legs back and up to center. And just set your feet down for a moment on the ground with the knees bent and ask your back and spine, is there anything else that I want to do? You may feel like you want to do a couple of those nice and easy lifts into an easy bridge pose. Some of you may want to draw your knees into your body or move into a happy baby. Find and feel whichever one is going to feel right for you right now. Doing any last things, because we're getting ready now to move into our corpse pose or shavasana. So those of you guys that know me know that I believe that this to be one of the most important things, because this is what integrates our practice now. It allows our tissues to release and soften so that now we can start to move and deepen the work into our energy body. So if you can, please stay with us for this. I'm going to suggest that you take and use any supports that you might need, either underneath your knees, like these guys are using the bolsters underneath their knees, maybe a pillow or a blanket underneath your head. For those of you guys in cold climates, you may want to have a blanket for covering up with. So use and bring whatever supports that you need to start to get yourself really comfy into a corpse pose. Your arms will be out at your sides, your legs a comfortable distance away from each other. So finding for you exactly the right placement of your arms, your legs, your head, so that you know that you're going to be able to stay in a comfortable position for about 10 minutes. Finding and feeling that you've got all of the supports that you need right now. All right. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and guide you through a relaxation of each of the body parts. And today we're going to start with the head and the brain. So having found your nice, easy, comfortable position, coming into and doing any last wiggles to get still, find and feel that the back of your head is in just that right place, and feel it connecting with the earth. Your back of your head comfortable and still. Start to now breathe into your brain, and on your exhales, just simply allow your brain to soften and release thought as best it can. Thanking your brain for being so well designed and organized for you, and right now giving it a rest. Allow your breath to come down and into your face, and with your exhales, feel all of the muscles of your face now starting to release and relax. Your eyes softening, turning inward. Ears softening, turning inward. Your jaw again relaxing, your tongue relaxing inside of your mouth. Now feel your breath travel down and into your neck and shoulders. And on some nice full exhales, feel your throat soften, your neck relax into the earth. Your shoulder blades starting to soften down, being supported by the earth. Your breath feeling as though it's just lightly opening your collarbones. Allow your breath to then flow down and through your arms, relaxing all the muscles of your hands, your lower arms, your upper arms. Feeling your arms melting down into the earth. Then invite your breath into the center part of your body, throughout your spine, your chest, your abdomen. Feel your rib cage and your spine soften down with your exhales. Feel yourself softening all the muscles of your torso. Feel your navel relaxing to the spine and your back body relaxing into the earth. Breathe now into the pelvis and hips, and with some nice full exhales, feel your sacrum snuggling down. Gluteals, other muscles of your pelvis relaxing. A softness now as the back of your pelvis is secure in the earth. Then invite your breath down your legs all the way to your toes, feeling your exhale softening there. Feet softening, legs softening, thighs softening, everything relaxing and releasing. Allowing the muscles of your legs to relax completely. Now everything is relaxed. Allow yourself to just simply release into this. Releasing body, mind, and just simply observing. Om Bhurбhuvah Svaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhemahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Allow yourself the time to come back gently. First, just noticing how your body feels now. That you've been laying in stillness for 10 minutes. As you're ready to bring movement back in, gently begin moving the joints of your fingers and toes, then your hands and feet, eventually allowing that to work its way up through wrists and arms and feet and knees. Coming up and maybe hugging your body together again, bringing the knees into your body. Eventually coming over onto the side that's the most comfortable side for you and taking a couple breaths of transition there. Bringing back with you what was your experience of your Shavasana. When you're ready, gently use your arms to help your body sit up and find again your comfortable position for meditation and breath work. As you find your comfortable position, know that we're probably going to be here for about 10 minutes. So allow yourself, you can use a chair, you can use any of the other supports you might have, but trying to find a position where your spine is in its natural shape with its natural curves and tall. Once you have yourself in that position, again, softening your gaze or closing your eyes and beginning to observe from the transition from lying in Shavasana up into sitting. Just allow your breath to stabilize and become your natural breath once again. Start to feel the natural rhythm of your breath as your breath comes in and goes out. And just do a check-in with your body, your mind, your breath, and your energy right here. Now, having done your check-in, what we're going to do is we're going to start to work with our Uchara practice. And we're going to do this for close to 3 minutes. Now, this is where you'll take a deep inhale and you'll sound Om, but in 3 parts. An Ah that should resonate in the lower part of the body, an U that should resonate somewhere around the heart, and the nasal sound, kind of that Ong sound, that will come up somewhere in one of your nasal passages. You may even want to think about it behind the third eye center. And then allowing the silence after to arise, coming through the crown of the head and up to a point about this far above you. Then you'll inhale back again, feeling your breath as if it's coming down nice and low, and begin Ah, U, silence again. So you can always do this again with the chin mudra or the mudra of consciousness, or just allowing your hands to be wherever they're comfortable. I'm going to keep track of the time. We're going to do this for a couple more minutes, and I will start to do this so you'll hear me on the recording, but please do this at the length of your breath. And here we go. Exhaling and inhaling. Doing one more. And once again, observing. Keeping your eyes in a soft gaze or closed. Feel the result of sending this vibration through these parts of your body. In the energy system of yoga, we talk about that there may be granthis or knots, psychic knots at different places in our body. Uchara is a practice designed to break through those knots. So just notice, if you can, how your energy feels within your body right now. Do you notice it in any particular places? Can you perhaps feel the center channel of energy that begins at the pelvic floor and comes up through the crown of the head? Do you notice the residue of vibration within that channel? So now just simply beginning to imagine your breath coming from that point above the crown of your head and coming with your inhale down and into your heart center. Lightly holding the breath there and then exhaling it back and up through the crown of your head to that point up above your head. Just begin this pattern at any time that feels comfortable to you. Inhaling from the crown, above the crown of your head, into the heart, pausing lightly there. When you're ready, then exhaling the breath back and up above the crown of the head. You may even want to visualize that flower within your heart center once again, receiving your breath, perhaps even lightly closing around the breath as you're holding there, and then opening to release the breath back and out and up through the crown of the head. Inhaling down and into the heart, pausing, retaining the breath just for the length that it's comfortable to do so. Then exhaling the breath back from the heart and out through the crown of the head. Taking 3 more breaths in this manner. And at the end of your 3rd breath, releasing to your normal breath pattern, releasing the visualization. And just for a moment here, feel yourself residing here within your heart. Observing, how does your energy feel at this point? Whenever it is that you've done your observations and you're ready, gradually bringing your palms together and back just in front of that heart center. Bowing your head down and honoring all you are, all you experience. May our practices continually bring us into our heart, into our wisdom, and may we bring that clarity back out and into the world. We'll close our practice with one more final Om, doing it again in the Uchara manner. Exhaling together and inhaling. Namaste. Thank you all for your practice. Thank you guys for your practice. And I'm going to come over here. I'm going to take out this. So if anyone has anything that you want to add in, you can. Hey, there's Nikki and the family.
Hi, guys. Yeah, right there. Hi, Nikki. I'm gonna open this up to. Hi, Chris. Gallery view back. There we go. And Christina.
And all the kids.
Yay! Good. How was everyone's practice?
Wonderful. Thank you.
Good, good, Kay. Good to see you. Hi, Kay.
Hi,
Pam.
Shane.
Good deal. Grace. Good to see you. Leslie.
Thank you, Mary. Hi, guys.
Thanks so much, Mary. That's lovely.
Good. Good to see you, Leslie. I'm glad it worked this week. Good. Yeah.
Christina seems to be cold.
Yeah, Christina, you look all bundled up.
I'm in my Christmas sweater with reindeers.
Think you get the prize for being the farthest north, Christina. So you're allowed.
Yeah. And here, Ashley, she lives just down the road, so I'm sure she's in her sweater too.
All right.
Thank you. Take care.
Yeah,
doggy.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, you guys. Good deal.
Bisous, Liliane.
Ciao, Bella.
Good deal.
Job.
Good to see you all. If there's anybody that wants to stay and ask any questions, feel free to do so. If you need to go, have a great day and please be safe out there. Hey, Nancy. It's so good to see you guys. Hey, Cass, how you doing up there?
Pretty good. We're just, you know, eating a lot and taking walks.
Good, good. Yep, that sounds like a good game plan for these days.
Cooking and eating and taking walks.
Yeah.
And reading.
And reading too.
My
Good.
life story.
Yep.
I'm gonna be.
Well, eat well, stay healthy.
Thank you. Thank you. This was great. See you Thursday.
Good deal. Con mucho gusto. Good. How you feeling, Lillian? I'm gonna unmute you.
Do this. Oh, there we go.
Unmute. There we go.
Ça va, ma Lily? Attends, on peut pas t'entendre encore. You want this one?
Yeah, for some reason it's not. Let's try that one. There we go. Yay. How you feeling, Lillian?
Good, thank you.
Good.
Not too hot?
Yes, a little, and I prefer to be in
The rancho.
yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It's good to be able
Yeah.
to.
At least.
Yeah. Well, you know that you're welcome if you want to come up.
Okay.
We trust you and we trust her. That's it. Those are the only people.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Next week, I don't know.
Yeah.
There is more
But just stay
cases.
safe and keep
Yeah.
taking good care of yourself.
Et si t'as besoin de courses, tu me dis, hein?
Yeah, merci, merci.
Mwah.
Ciao, Bella. We love you.
Bisous, bisous.
All right.
Prends soin de toi.
Be well.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.